On a warm June afternoon in 2016, a tragic crime unfolded that shocked the world. Willie Kimani, a Kenyan human rights lawyer, was brutally murdered while seeking justice for a client. This is the heartbreaking true crime story of a man who dedicated his life to fighting for the oppressed, only to become a victim himself. But what led to this senseless act? Was it the result of a corrupt system? Or was it the work of powerful forces that sought to silence those who fought for justice? Willie Kimani was known for his tireless work advocating for police accountability in Kenya. He was no stranger to danger, having faced numerous threats from the very institution he sought to reform. Despite the risks, Kimani remained determined. His passion for justice burned bright, but little did he know that it would eventually cost him his life. June 23, 2016. Willie Kimani, accompanied by his client Josephat Mwenda and a driver named Joseph Maruri, were headed to court in Nairobi. They were representing Mwenda, a man who had been allegedly beaten and tortured by police officers. Kimani, a legal beacon for victims of police abuse, was at the center of the case. However, on that fateful day, the trio was intercepted by police officers. The authorities quickly detained them, citing no apparent reason. It was not long before the three men disappeared without a trace. June 24, 2016. Family members, colleagues, and friends became alarmed when they failed to hear from the three men. Kimani's wife, children, and colleagues were desperate to locate him. Fear spread as the police gave inconsistent answers. Was he taken in by corrupt officers, or was something darker at play? June 27, 2016. After days of searching, authorities confirmed that the bodies of Kimani, Mwenda, and Maruri had been discovered in a river in Machakos County, Kenya. The gruesome discovery confirmed the worst fears. The three men had been tortured and murdered. Kimani, a lawyer who had dedicated his life to fighting for justice, had become a victim of the very injustice he sought to reform. Despite the hurdles, the case eventually made its way to court. The families of the victims, along with the Kenyan civil society, demanded accountability. The accused officers, including several high-ranking police officials, were put on trial for the murders of Willie Kimani, Joseph Mwenda, and Joseph Maruri. However, as the case unfolded, it became clear that systemic corruption and abuse of power ran deep within Kenya's police force. A question arose: could this case set a precedent for holding law enforcement accountable in the country? Willie Kimani, a lawyer and human rights activist known for his unwavering dedication to justice. Kimani was deeply involved in cases that exposed police brutality, often representing individuals who had been victims of police abuse. Josephat Mwenda, Kimani's client, a man whose life had been destroyed by police brutality. Mwenda's story was one of extreme violence at the hands of law enforcement, and he sought justice through Kimani's representation. Joseph Maruri, the driver who accompanied Willie Kimani and Josephat Mwenda on that fateful day. Maruri, like the others, was a victim of a senseless act of violence. On June 27, 2016, the public learned the horrible truth. Willie Kimani and his two companions had been murdered. The impact was immediate. The murder was a direct challenge to the rule of law in Kenya, and it sent a strong message to the people. Police officers were not only involved, but allegedly complicit in the crime. This was a clear turning point in Kenya's fight for justice. The international community, including human rights organizations, rallied to the cause, demanding justice for Kimani, Mwenda, and Maruri. People everywhere asked themselves, how far would the corrupt forces go to protect their own, even if it meant silencing those who sought the truth? As the investigation continued, a series of shocking revelations began to surface. Corruption, cover-ups, and a lack of accountability permeated the case at every level. Yet the tenacity of human rights groups, journalists, and the victims' families kept the pressure on. In 2017, after a prolonged trial, a Kenyan court convicted several police officers involved in the murders. However, many felt that justice had not been fully served, as high-ranking officers and other figures allegedly involved remained untouched. The case did not end with the convictions. The families and supporters of the victims continued to demand accountability for the entire police force and a reformation of the justice system. This case highlighted the deep flaws within Kenya's law enforcement system and sparked widespread calls for reform. The events surrounding Willie Kimani's death ignited a fire in the hearts of those who wanted justice and those who believed in the power of the law. Willie Kimani's legacy lives on in the fight for justice in Kenya. His tragic death sparked a movement that continues to demand accountability and change in the country's justice system. His story serves as a reminder that, no matter how dark the path, the fight for justice must never be abandoned. As we conclude this tragic tale, we are reminded of the importance of standing up for what is right. Willie Kimani may have paid the ultimate price, but his death was not in vain. His legacy continues to inspire those who fight for justice, and the quest for truth remains as relevant as ever. We hope that this story has shed light on the complexities of justice and accountability. If you found this video insightful, please remember to like, comment, and share. What are your thoughts on the case of Willie Kimani? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more true crime stories.